Hey everybody, thanks for
Hello.
joining us live. I hope some people can find us here. I'm on my business page. And as you guys know, I go live every Monday at about 5 p.m. Arizona time, but I'm hopping on a little early today because obviously I have my daughter Laurel with me
Hello.
today. We are super excited to come live and hope some people join us on here. We just thought we'd hop on. I'm actually in Oklahoma where Laurel
She loves
lives
it.
at the moment.
Loves Oklahoma. Never complains.
I don't complain. It's just a little sticky here.
And windy.
It's a little and windy. So,
Sticky wind.
so I came over here to visit Laurel. Another fun thing that's happening while I'm here is in about an hour. Laurel and I are going to do a photo shoot to have pictures taken for the cover of our new book that is coming out on 11/11/19. So we're really excited about that. We have some fun props. Actually, one of them got delivered today and are now in the bathtub. Just a little hint.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does sound weird, but when people see it, they'll understand.
It's a process.
Yes.
We'll share.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm on here live, and we wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the book and why we created this book. The title is called Keep Looking Up. And so Laurel's going to tell you a little bit about why we're doing this book, why we created this project.
Yeah. So if you don't know our story already or have not been paying attention or following us or whatever, we 5 years ago lost my dad by suicide. And then 3 years ago, my brother died in the same way. I guess 2 years ago. So they were 3 years apart, I guess is the point of that. But 2 years ago, my brother passed away as well. And so we definitely have gone through a lot of changes, altering our reality, if you will. My counselor actually used this great quote that she said that trauma is when your reality is altered. And so we've experienced that a lot.
Yeah.
And so with that comes a whole lot of lessons and learning a lot about ourselves and other people and just that whole process. So we decided to write this book to not only tell our short story, but to hopefully help other people that are going through any sort of diversity. It doesn't have to be death or suicide or anything. I think everyone experiences it in some way. But the reason we titled it Keep Looking Up is because you can't move forward in your life without looking up. So, and there's a lot of meanings behind the chapter, but that's a really big one as well.
Yeah. So hi, Ashley. Hi, Kent. How are you? Yeah. So, we decided to write this book. We started talking about it, I think, over the holidays last year and started saying, we're really feeling like, previous to this happening to us, we had a really rocking life. I mean, it was very ideal. We pretty much, we talk about this in the book, kind of lived in a bubble. We had a beautiful family of four, great, tight, wonderful family. But after this happened to us, we started hearing from other people that they have been through some stuff. And we started learning that everybody has a story, and everybody started asking Laurel and I, most specifically, they would ask a couple of questions that we address in the book. But one of the questions was, okay, how are you getting through this? Because obviously you have gotten through the worst, and we're still functioning and making this work. And so we decided to write this book because there were about 9 or 10 lessons that we learned in our journey that we believe by sharing it with you can help you get through adversity as well. And not only how to get through it yourself, but we talk a lot about in the book around how you can help other people who are going through adversity, because that's the second biggest question we got a lot, right, Laurel, where people would say, hey, I don't know how to help you. I don't know what you need. I don't know what you don't need, whatever. And they also have friends that are going through stuff, whether, again, it's suicide or death or not. We always want to help each other. And so we wrote this book with 9 or 10 chapters on what we've learned in the journey. And so, for example, one of the chapters we wrote was on grace and mercy. We have learned a lot through this that, when you're going through stuff, you have to not only give yourself a lot of grace and mercy, a lot of patience when you're going through the healing process and, wanting to still produce and function like you were and you just can't, but also giving other people a lot of grace and mercy. Before we went through this, we would have never, we had our own perspective around how people should grieve. And now that we're on the other side of it, we've learned that some people haven't been through stuff yet like this. And so they haven't known how to handle it, or maybe have said something that maybe would have been a little awkward. And so we've learned just to understand that they don't understand. Grace and mercy, right? So what's another chapter we talked about, Laurel, in the book?
Well, the big beginner and opener, which I really like how it opens and closes. Of course, the middle stuff's great too. But the beginning talks a lot about how, going back to how our reality was altered so much and how that really, really threw us through a loop. And just talking about that process, I think that's really a beginning phase of grieving. I mean, there's a whole lot that comes to grief, but that beginning portion talks about what our life was like before this, before my dad passed, and again before Cole had passed. And so we kind of open it up because I think people can relate to that. If they had almost this like before life, before something had happened to them, before whatever it is. And so we have to share that because it's very transparent of what that shift was like for us.
Yeah.
Multiple shifts, I guess.
Lots of shifts. And we do another chapter on identity. On how much our identity has changed, how we've had to recreate that, not only for us individually, but also our relationship and our relationship in our family and in our friends and in our community. It changed everything. So we've had to really work through a lot of that. Obviously, Laurel's mentioned that she's, going through counseling, and I have somebody who's helping me as well. So I think the last thing we wanted to share with you guys is that we also want people to understand. Laurel and I have a very, very healthy perspective on the reason we say keep looking up is that we've got a bigger perspective of eternity, and that what we're going through right here is just temporary, and that we know where we're going. We know where our loved ones are. We know that we will see them again in a much, much, much better scenario than we were here, as great as our family was. So we keep looking to that. And that's, I think, the biggest thing of all is that no matter what you believe, we do want to help people to not focus so much on what you're going through in the moment, as hard as it is, and trust us, we know that there's something better coming, and to give you hope and give you something to look forward to, and to just kind of direct you and give you the right community for people that can help you through that, right?
Yeah. And I think too, we'll even say it's as silly as it sounds, and you may have to try this, you'll understand. But when you really start to feel overwhelmed, even if it's not from what you went through, just overwhelmed in general, I think if you really look up at the sky for even a minute or two and realize how minuscule the stuff is that's happening right now, it can bring it all down and bring it back to perspective for you, right, back to reality. So yeah, it's a good visual, I guess.
Shift.
Yeah,
it's a shift to understand that there's more out there than what's here, and to just have that connection, and to be connected to other people who understand that. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing? Hi, Linda. So that's why we wrote the book, you guys. We're in the process. The book is written. Laurel and I actually got one of the pre-final manuscripts today, with some minor little editorial changes. And the next month or two, the book is going into packaging mode, which is why we're having the photo shoot today for the cover. And we have a plan to have a huge event, book launch in Phoenix, Arizona, on 11/11, which was my son's birthday. So I hope you guys will save the date. I hope that you will watch for the book. It's called Keep Looking Up. And we will start telling you more about that in the next month or so. So watch for that. But we just want to hop on since we were together. Laurel loves this.
I love it. My favorite.
And yeah, share this out, you guys. If you know people that would get excited about the book coming, want to be connected to some more positivity in their life, sharing is caring. So share this video out and let other people know it's coming, and save the date for 11/11/19. All right. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks for watching. And if you watched the replay, let me know you were here, and we will stay connected with you. Have a nice night.